This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
This is Rob Gronkowski from Dudes on Dudes. Applebee's just cooked up the ultimate option play with their new Ultimate Trio deal. You can choose from 3 of their delicious appetizers and pair them up with 3 sauces for just $14.99. Craft your perfect trio from over 80,000 different combinations in this flavor-packed plate built for one, or to share if you're generous. You can stick with the classic pairings like boneless wings and buffalo sauce, or you can spice things up and try some unexpected pairings like dipping chicken wonton tacos in our honey Dijon mustard. It's time to head to your neighborhood Applebee's or order online today. Now that's eating good in the neighborhood.
Step into the world of power, loyalty, and luck.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
With family, cannolis, and spins mean everything.
Now, you wanna get mixed up in the family business.
Introducing The Godfather at ChumbaCasino.com. Test your luck in the shadowy world of The Godfather slot.
Someday, I will call upon you to do a service for me.
Play The Godfather now at ChumbaCasino.com.
Welcome to the family.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Mint is still $15 a month for premium wireless. And if you haven't made the switch yet, here are 15 reasons why you should. 1, it's $15 a month. 2, seriously, it's $15 a month. 3, no big contrast. 4, I use it. 5, my mom uses it. Are you playing me off? That's what's happening, right? Okay, give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, $15 per month equivalent required. New customer offer first 3 months only. Then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
But what about the other guys? What about the other teams in the NFC North? That would include the division leaders, the Green Bay Packers, the Detroit Lions, still the target at which to shoot in the NFC North because they are the champions, and the winless Chicago Bears. Let's begin with the Green Bay Packers at the Cleveland Browns. Green Bay got some injuries right now.
Yeah.
Not that it will matter, but I'll just start here, and then you can take it away. Stefanski's bunch with these Cleveland Browns.
Well, they have Joe Flacco, who you think is the best quarterback of all time.
I mean, is there even a puncher's chance in this thing to beat somebody?
No. You're asking me if the Cleveland Browns have a chance of beating the Packers?
That's what I asked.
I don't believe so. The Packers, in my opinion, have been the best team in the NFL. I know that's unfortunate for the people here in Maplewood.
Really.
And
still got 15.
That's a good point. There's a lot of time left. Doesn't look like they might not have.
I'll worry about Green Bay when they beat the Vikings because I can't remember the last time they beat them. And that's not a bad thing to have, and it's actually factual.
Was it 23 the last week or something?
I'll worry about the Green Bay Packers when they beat the Minnesota Vikings in a big spot during a season.
Look, if they can topple Joe Flacco, maybe they will earn more of your respect this weekend. I don't know if the Packers will have Tucker Kraft, their tight end. But they just...
Jaden Reed's gone now, too.
Jaden Reed, but it sounds like...
Reed for 2 months.
Micah Parsons has really... seems like he's going to be playing more. That should help their defense. Those corners have held up. Like, I had a question coming into the season. Is Keyshawn Nixon going to be good enough? Is Carrington Valentine going to be good enough? They lost Kenny. They traded Kenny Clark. Devontae Wyatt has rushed the passer effectively. Offensively, they've been in such sync, running the ball and throwing it. So I don't see the Browns putting up much of a fight. It's an 8-point spread, if I'm not mistaken. So
the Browns are going to cover for sure.
They might cover, yeah.
Yeah, they're absolutely. It's 8.5. It's on the shores of Lake Erie. The Browns with the quarterback situation totally get it, and they're just one. I mean, Flacco, I think he's got a 3-4. He's thrown 3 or 4 picks in the first 2 games. But these defenses, man, I mean, this might be the lowest scoring game of the entire weekend right now. You got two defenses. I think the Packers allow 2.4 yards per carry on the ground. The Browns 2.1. Like, that's what we're talking about, absolute slogfest. And I know it was a blowout. Like, you can look at the lopsided scoreline this last weekend in Baltimore. It was like 41-14 or something like that. And but the turnovers and the stupid mistakes that the Browns, again, bad team, not going to win a lot of games. I'm not trying to sell hope on the Browns putting 50 on the Packers. I'm just telling you that the Ravens started 4 scoring possessions in Cleveland territory because of clomp fests. They had a 60-some yard, it may have been Roquan Smith, a fumble return TD. The Browns' defense is legit, and they kept Lamar and Derrick Henry had like 20 total yards. He was in the negative territory for most of the game. 240-some total yards they allowed to that Ravens bunch at home. I just think this is going to be a slow and probably super unentertaining game. Now, in the end, you mentioned those corners. Like, you want to see Nixon. You want to see him get tested. You want to force him to put Bo Melton in the mix or something like that. But it is kind of the classic case, like, suffocating front seven, compensating and supporting maybe a weakness on the team to mitigate that being a factor. And I do say, to your point, I mean, all jokes about Flacco, won a Super Bowl MVP, maybe one of the better playoff runs in 2012 that you'll ever see a quarterback have. He ain't fresh, and maybe not even Stefanski's first choice, but he's been given what the Haslam company has given him, and he's going to work with it. And I just think I don't think this is a disastrous, lopsided, one-team affair as it appears to be, given what we've seen out of Green Bay thus far.
No, I mean, and the other
because it's next to the lake.
Because it's on the shores of Lake Erie.
I mean, Cleveland's at home. I mean, it's not like the fans are going to be unbelievably loud, but this is Green Bay's first road game.
There you go.
We'll see what happens there.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing about the defense for Green Bay is they're just playing so fast.
Yeah.
Like, that's it, for me, that is a reflection on players having confidence in scheme. And we've talked about Jeff Hafley now seemingly every week, their defensive coordinator. But I just feel like from the time he's gotten hired, what he's done with that unit, it's been impressive. But you're probably right. It'll maybe a muddy game, uglier than you think. If Jordan Love's throwing the ball to the other team, then who knows what happens. But Myles Garrett will obviously make it difficult on him.
I need some help with Quinshawn Judkins, second round pick in 2025 from Ohio State. He debuted against the Ravens last game for Cleveland. Went for more than 6 yards a clip.
He did.
Just 10 carries. My man might have an identity crisis, and that unless he's done something differently with his hair, half of it's blonde, half of it's brown. I just don't know which way we're going with this hair, but that's okay.
I think that's in now.
That's him?
I think that's in.
Okay.
I think that's in style now, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, hair to the side. He, in 3 years in college football, 2 at, I believe, Ole Miss, and 1 at Ohio State, he amassed like 50-some-odd touchdowns.
Yep. And,
Stefanski, coach of the Cleveland Browns, he is a run-first to set up the vertical passing game kind of guy. So, therefore, for him to take Judkins indicates that somebody who knows how to run the ball liked him a lot, at least at one point. But Quinshawn Judkins, either of you know anything about him?
I don't know much about him other than he was, and I exclusively saw him at Ohio State. So I'm not familiar with his Ole Miss SEC days.
Great at Ole Miss.
But that dynamic duo between him and Travion, and at one point, and I'm very happy to be wrong on this, I remember it as people were talking about Judkins potentially being the better back, but Travion was potentially getting a bit more exposure because he was the multi-year cat, Mr. Reliable, and maybe just a little more dynamic in his overall skill sets. But Judkins is absolutely, as we know Kevin Stefanski, he's that dude that Stefanski would fall in love with. And he did have to make his debut because of the off-field stuff that was going on. I didn't follow much of that. But the 6 yards of carry that you're talking about, he can explode. He can be absolutely a bell cow guy that, just like Nick Chubb was, that Stefanski can lean on and just run teams into the ground over the course of 60 minutes.
Yeah, Judkins is while Travion Henderson was more of like your gadget catch out of the backfield, Judkins is more. These were the 2 Ohio State guys. He's more downhill, north-south, efficiency as opposed to explosiveness. But, yeah, he had the off-field situation. Took him a while to sign his contract. But you can imagine him in that offense, just to reiterate what you guys have said, it gives them a bit of juice back there that they've probably needed and that they've wanted. So, it probably starts there for the Packers. If you can't stop him and stop that ground game, then it is going to be a much closer game than I probably originally talked about it being.
Is it dumb for me just to kind of blindly, I've seen, again, I say this about a 2-time Coach of the Year. I feel like in some ways, whether it was the Deshaun Watson and just some other things about building that roster, I feel like Stefanski has in some ways been let down by those that put the right pieces in place for him to deploy. That team plays hard, man, and that defense is so good. Stefanski against these Packers, it's not a division rivalry for the dog pound in Cleveland, but they're going to play their asses off on Sunday, and I do like them keeping that 8.5 points is insane to me.
Yeah.
And the Packers can go out and just be a better team and be the victor, but I just believe in the Browns keeping this one super tight on Sunday.
So sometimes I like to take, what will matter during the course of a game. Matter a lot. I'm going to say it here in a second. And you just say it because it's going to happen a lot. And for a team to win, it has to work. Generally speaking, a fair amount of the game. But then you listen to it and tell me how it hits you, because there's a scenario right here. To keep this thing close against Green Bay, that Flacco play action off the rookie running back Judkins to get the ball to Cedric Tillman, well, there it is. How'd it hit you?
You guys,
seriously,
I know
it hits me that
great.
Micah Parsons is going to be right in his face probably the entire game. And I don't know if you know this, but he's 41 or something. He's not going to be the most mobile.
It's going to be Dylan Gabriel in the third quarter.
It doesn't.
What about Shador?
Cedric Tillman did not hit me well.
Yeah, where you look on the other side with the way Love's playing, and you're like, you know what? Elton Jenkins, they moved to center. It's working. So you got Jenkins snapping the ball to Jordan Love, who's going to go play action to Josh Jacobs and fire down the field to Marcus Golden or Tucker Kraft or, somebody.
Dontavian Wicks.
Yeah, that way you put
Romeo
Wicks,
Dobbs.
You put Wicks in the equation, it
changes,
lessens the sauce a little bit. You know what I mean? But Wicks is good, but there are bigger names. All right, thank you for that. When we return, we will hit on Chicago and Dallas. And Detroit and Baltimore. Detroit and Baltimore at the Ravens. I believe that's Sunday Night Football. Maybe it's Monday Night Football.
Monday night, I think.
What a game that could be. Holy cow. But this is a very, very big week in my estimation for Chicago Bears football. And we'll explain why around the corner from Buffalo Wild Wings Maplewood on.
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Life moves fast. A new home, a new baby, a new chapter. But without an estate plan, your future's still vulnerable. With Trust and Will, you can name guardians, start a trust, create healthcare directives, and more. All online in about an hour. It's attorney-designed, state-specific, and built to protect what you love. Plans start at just $199, and every plan is safe, secure, and kept completely private. From families with young kids to adults caring for aging parents, Trust and Will makes it simple to take control, without a law office, paperwork stress, or court delays. Go to trustandwill.com and use code RADIO to save 20%. Start your plan today. Don't wait for life to force your hand. Estate planning is one of the smartest, most loving things you can do. Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. See website for details.
Trust and Will.
This is Rob Gronkowski from Dudes on Dudes. Anyone else feeling hungry? Because Applebee's just cooked up the ultimate option play with their new Ultimate Trio deal. You can choose from 3 of their delicious appetizers and pair them up with 3 sauces for just $14.99. Craft your perfect trio from over 80,000 different combinations in this flavor-packed plate built for one, or to share if you're generous. You can stick with the classic pairings like boneless wings and buffalo sauce, mozzarella sticks and marinara, or brew pub pretzels and white cheddar beer cheese. Or you can spice things up and try some unexpected combinations like dipping chicken wonton tacos in their honey Dijon mustard. The choice is yours. The Ultimate Trio is the perfect way to hit all your cravings in one plate and turn appetizers into an entree. It's time to head to your neighborhood Applebee's or order online today. Now that's eating good in the neighborhood.
This is Julian Edelman from Games with Names. Football is back. That means it's tailgate time. And this season, the only meat going on the grill is Dietz and Watson. Some of my favorites are the Black Angus Dietz dogs, the Italian-style chicken sausage, and the Asiago spinach chicken sausage, just to name a few. Oh, and I love the jalapeno mustard. It's flavor-packed, and you could just tell Dietz and Watson uses the highest quality meats in every bite. Dietz and Watson was born in Philly in 1939, and they've been doing it the right way ever since. Visit DietzandWatson.com/the right way to learn more about the Dietz difference.
KFAN. Maplewood, just in case this is the only Friday football feast that engineer Sam Bird gets to do this year, because give him a round of applause. He's done a great job this year. The headphones sound good. The audio in here is good. We had a little audio related clipping penalty early that he fixed like that. So it's great to have you here, bud. He does work with John Justice on AM 1130 KTLK. So you may hear or know of him from there. But great work. And if we don't see him again this year, then this is a one-for-one performance by the fill-in, Sam Bird. We should have Jared Wells. When we return for Friday Football Feast, and that's not going to be for a few weeks, this is the final feast, I believe, for a month. Because the Vikings go to Dublin. So we leave Thursday.
That's tough.
No feast Friday. And then London, no feast that Friday. Then bye week, no feast that Friday. Our next feast, I don't know where it is, but it's getting ready for the world champion Philadelphia Eagles.
Wow.
Wartime mentality is required, and you got to start thinking about it right now. Them birds. The Dallas Cowboys and Chicago Bears meet this weekend. Some would say it's a football game. Others would say it's a war of attrition. Yeah. The point spread is nearly around. It's around pick, something like that. It's
1.5 as of this morning.
Who's favored?
Cowboys.
Yeah. See, Bears, I think, were -1. That sucker went over on the other side to 1.5 Dallas.
The Sharps are on it.
But Nordo has been enlisted to lead us through these games. I'm just going to say one thing before he empties his Tolstoy. This is it's not a make or break situation for the Bears. All right, the coach ain't going anywhere. But Ben Johnson, coach of the Chicago Bears, is on a bad run right now, and that's the only way to put it. I mean, the way he treated a member of the media, granted a little late in the week for my liking when it comes to certain questions about a previous game, but nevertheless, he barked at him.
Pat Finley.
That's who that was?
Mizzou grad.
Who is okay? So is this guy who asked that question? Has he done this job more than 3 months?
Chicago Sun-Times.
The guy's out of his mind. That is a ridiculous approach to questions.
I'll let him know.
Please do.
No, he asked about a special teams question on like a Thursday.
No, my bad. No, I'm thinking about the guy who got into Dan Campbell.
Oh, Ben Johnson.
My bad. Yeah. About Ben Johnson's plays. My bad. No, yeah, he absolutely has a right to ask that question on Friday. So Johnson melted there. Might have been the same press conference or the previous one, and this is fine to do this, but, he was sensing the media wanted to get after Caleb Williams, so he made it public. DJ Moore ran a bad route on a very big play in the game. Generally speaking, for whatever my time in the NFL is worth, star wide receivers don't like hearing that in public. Then we go to Detroit to play our former team, and we get murdered. So what are we going to do? We're going to act like a petulant child as we walk off the field and want to have nothing to do with anybody who, by the way, helped pave the way for you to make $13 million a year.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me with this kid? And I'm saying, I know what I'm saying. So whatever. All that's supposedly gold is not glittering there right now. They might get killed at home. This is a big one for the Bears. What do you think?
Well, that's where I was going to take this first, Alec, is Caleb. It's one of those things where the more you see him, and we just got to this year, it's like his stock continues to fall week to week to week. We know about, building up from the studs up and all of that, just kind of rebuilding Caleb Williams. It's not like his career's over by any stretch, but they are absolutely going to have to put 30 on the board this weekend to keep up with the Cowboys offense. And to PA's point, I do think that this is, it's so early in the season. Greenway's talking about, keeping confident. Let's go after these Bengals. We'll get healthy and we'll handle business. Well, the defensive side of things, very unhealthy. But I don't think they're going to get that back.
No.
And then from an offensive standpoint, the discombobulation, man, and having to keep up with these Cowboys this weekend, I think it's potentially a season or seminal moment for them in 2025.
I just don't think they like Ben, man. And then he put him on that 2.5-hour practice bit and had to let everybody know. I don't know.
Well, here's the deal. They might not like him because he's running the operation with more strictness, rigidity, stress level than they've had. Ben Johnson said the other day,
Pete Carroll runs it antithetical to that and wins the Super Bowl.
There's no question, but there's different styles, and different teams need different styles. And it felt like with the lack of detail from Chicago's offense last year, they needed to tighten that ship. And so that's what he's done. Ben Johnson said the other day, our practices habits are still not at championship level. I actually thought Caleb Williams played a pretty good game in week 2. I thought that was an improvement from him. It looked like he was seeing the field a little better. It didn't seem like you felt that way, but
no, either did I.
We'll see if that continues to happen or if he continues to struggle. Their defense, though, against this Cowboys offense, I know people are down on Dallas and there's questions to ask about trading Micah and all that stuff, but that offense, with the way Dak is running the show,
Sweat, you mean?
With the way Dak is running the show. I'm saying with the Cowboys trading.
Oh, I see.
Micah Parsons.
My bad.
With the way Dak is running the show, with George Pickens, with CeeDee Lamb, Brian Schottenheimer has called plays pretty well early on. The Bears have a lot of work cut out for them to keep the game close, and if they get down early and they just have to throw without any balance on their offense, it's going to be tough sledding for the Bears.
Well, that's going to be the key. They actually were getting 5+ a clip from Swift against the Kitties last weekend, but then it gets so lopsided. It's Caleb Williams having to carry it, and that's the thing for me in terms of Caleb Williams becoming a better quarterback. And you bring in Ben Johnson to do that. Regardless of what happens this year, Ben's not going anywhere, and it is a more professional operation than it was with Eberflus, or it's supposedly that's how it's been reported or talked about.
Yeah, that's what he wants.
Yes, in the end, and so, but with Caleb, it's when he has to go off script and just be a football player. You simultaneously praise the athleticism, and then you're shaking your head as he throws. He tries to throw it away, and it's the lazy pick inbounds, and just the embarrassing decision-making at times that he shows when he's working outside the construct of the offense. So the more that Ben Johnson can lock things in and control Caleb in some respects, I think it'll get better. But I think it starts with running the game, man, whether it's Manungai, I think that's how you pronounce it, and Swift. Like, they were off to a fantastic start there, specifically on the ground, but then they had to get away from it because of that defensive performance they were putting out there. But then that sends you down the road of, oh, my goodness, with CD. Oh, my goodness, finding ways to get Pickens. By the way, they make Javonte Williams look like prime Zeke through 2 weeks.
Good.
Like, this Cowboys offense and Schottenheimer, I don't know who they have playing defense for him now. I mean, it's bad. It is ugly. But offensively, man, they are a tight working unit.
And now you get to Detroit at Baltimore. With Detroit, moving the ball nicely against Chicago is dramatically different than it will be against the Baltimore Ravens. Do you guys think they can move the ball on the Ravens? And what do you think of that NFC North team playing in that game?
Yeah, the most interesting thing to me between the Lions and Ravens is, can the Lions interior the offensive line, which really struggled that first week against the Packers and was better this past week against the Bears, can it be good against the Ravens and Justin Madubuike and some of those guys that they will throw at you? If the offensive line has been the rock of that Lions team, it's what's allowed them to be so good in the run game. It's what's given Jared Goff, who needs time in the pocket, time. And if they can be that for him still and show that against a better team in Baltimore, you start to have the faith that I think some of us probably originally had in what that team might be capable of this year.
I just think whether it was James Cook week 1, how good was that game with the Ravens and Bills week 1?
Incredible.
And the way that it came down to the wire and Prater walks it off, that's all good. This last week, I think whether we were talking about the Browns and Judkins being able to go for 6 a clip, I think you can move the ball on the Ravens right now. Mm-hmm. But it is going to become, and 2 years ago, I think, the Lions, and that was back in the Ben Johnson days, so I don't know how much you can take from it, but the Ravens just absolutely pasted them. It was like 40-6 or something ridiculous in Baltimore. Different situations, of course. I think you can move it on the Ravens more than you've been able to the last couple of seasons, and I think this is like a Gibbs game. I think the way that they weren't able to get Amon-Ra working week 1 and that blow-up, like the momentum that can be built and found from success, specifically, John Morton feeling his oats, right? And I think it's Shepard, the defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
I think that, you can find that momentum and confidence from success, which dropping half 100 on Ben Johnson's team should be a confidence builder of some sort. I think you can move it on the Ravens. I just don't think you can stop the Ravens, which is a massive problem.
Well, that was where I was going. The Lions' defense, for me, is still just a massive question mark. Like, they have, Aiden Hutchinson back, the 2 safeties and Brian Branch and Kirby Joseph, DJ Reed. But, like, Tyrion Arnold I
don't think he's great.
He has not progressed. I mean, the first-round corner selection has not elevated to where you feel like you can really play man coverage with that guy. And then, I still have some questions about their linebacker. So that defense, to me, still feels very gettable. And against Lamar, Derrick Henry, Zay Flowers, Mark Andrews, good luck. Really, is what I would say.
That's Alec Lewis from The Athletic, Eric Nordquist from 9 to noon at KFAN, and I'm Paul Allen. In our final segment, we go Vikings-Bengals-centric, and we'll start focusing on some minutia and tidbits that were shared in a story Alec wrote recently about Carson Wentz. That's when we return to Buffalo Wild Wings Maplewood on KF.
How to have fun anytime, anywhere. Step 1, go to ChumbaCasino.com.
ChumbaCasino.com. Got it.
Step 2, collect your welcome bonus.
Come to Papa welcome bonus.
Step 3, play hundreds of casino-style games for free.
That's a lot of games, all for free?
Step 4, unleash your excitement.
Woohoo! Chumba Casino has been delivering thrills for over a decade. So claim your free welcome bonus now and live the Chumba life. Visit ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Life moves fast. A new home, a new baby, a new chapter. But without an estate plan, your future's still vulnerable. With Trust and Will, you can name guardians, start a trust, create healthcare directives, and more. All online in about an hour. It's attorney-designed, state-specific, and built to protect what you love. Plans start at just $199, and every plan is safe, secure, and kept completely private. From families with young kids to adults caring for aging parents, Trust and Will makes it simple to take control, without a law office, paperwork stress, or court delays. Go to trustandwill.com and use code RADIO to save 20%. Start your plan today. Don't wait for life to force your hand. Estate planning is one of the smartest, most loving things you can do. Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. See website for details.
Trust and Will.
This is Rob Gronkowski from Dudes on Dudes. Anyone else feeling hungry? Because Applebee's just cooked up the ultimate option play with their new Ultimate Trio deal. You can choose from 3 of their delicious appetizers and pair them up with 3 sauces for just $14.99. Craft your perfect trio from over 80,000 different combinations in this flavor-packed plate built for one, or to share if you're generous. You can stick with the classic pairings like boneless wings and buffalo sauce, mozzarella sticks and marinara, or brew pub pretzels and white cheddar beer cheese. Or you can spice things up and try some unexpected combinations like dipping chicken wonton tacos in their honey Dijon mustard. The choice is yours. The Ultimate Trio is the perfect way to hit all your cravings in one plate and turn appetizers into an entree. It's time to head to your neighborhood Applebee's or order online today. Now that's eating good in the neighborhood.
This is Julian Edelman from Games with Names. Football is back. That means it's tailgate time. And this season, the only meat going on the grill is Dietz and Watson. Some of my favorites are the Black Angus Dietz dogs, the Italian-style chicken sausage, and the Asiago spinach chicken sausage, just to name a few. Oh, and I love the jalapeno mustard. It's flavor-packed, and you could just tell Dietz and Watson uses the highest quality meats in every bite. Dietz and Watson was born in Philly in 1939, and they've been doing it the right way ever since. Visit DietzandWatson.com/the right way to learn more about the Dietz difference.
Fan. Well, Alec Lewis of The Athletic and TheAthletic.com, his appearance 9 to noon with the Friday Football Feast, courtesy of Steve's Appliances and Steve'sAppliances.com. We thank Brian and Sarah and Steve's in Mounds View for their tender, loving care with a 9 to noon and the feast. Now, Alec, in writing for The Athletic, he wrote a story about the circuitous nature of Carson Wentz's journey, ending with, or at least at this stage, with the team he grew up rooting for, listening to on the radio and watching on TV, and going to games at Metrodome. So here's how I'm going to frame this up. Because part of the story, The Athletic, TheAthletic.com, subscribe if you are so inclined. In that story, Alec wrote, Carson has been billed as savior, injured star, trusted starter, cast aside, bust, recovered
franchise quarterback,
and
unsuccessful leader and backup.
Thank you. Now, what led you to that? And, what do you know about Carson, how he actually plays at this stage of his career?
Yeah, I mean, he's just the journey that he's been on is crazy. I mean, he was the Philadelphia Eagles traded, believe, 5 picks to go up to number 2 to draft him. Then he plays for the Eagles. The year they won the Super Bowl, they were 11-2 with him, and he looked like a budding superstar. Then he tears his ACL in 2017. They win the Super Bowl without him. He responds from that. In 2019, he had another great year, and then in the first playoff game, riding on a high, he had a concussion on the first play of the game. So his whole career has just been, it's been up, down, sideways. In the last 6 years, he's played for 6 different teams. He's played in Kansas City as the backup to Patrick Mahomes. He played in Los Angeles as the backup to Matthew Stafford. So he arrives here now with this opportunity, playing for the team that he grew up rooting for. It's a pretty wild ride, and there are a lot of people in Bismarck, there are a lot of people in North Dakota who are just pumped for him to have, as someone raises their hand over there, who are just pumped for him to have this opportunity for this team. So what I know about him as a player, strong arm, athletic. Can he be accurate? Can he see the field well enough? We will find out together on Sunday.
How much of this, in the lighten the load of the playbook, simplifying the offense, how many mental machinations do you put into that in terms of, because again, as we've talked about earlier, I don't necessarily feel that just simply changing the QB changes the game plan. Where do you see that?
Well, I mean, you could go with it either way. Like, I've heard some people say, well, he's experienced, so he should be able to pick up this offense and it'll be great. But he also hasn't even been here a month. And while there is carryover in some ways between the Rams system and the Vikings system, this system has evolved from Kevin O'Connell's time in Los Angeles. So there is a hurdle for Carson Wentz to get fully up to speed. I say that it is a responsibility of Kevin O'Connell and the staff to kind of meet him halfway and meet him at the right kind of, point of how much do we really put on his plate. So it'll be interesting. He's played for the majority of his career out of the shotgun. The Vikings play majority of their offense from under center. So how much will he be under center? How much will he be in the shotgun? All those things are question marks that I can't wait to find out at noon on Sunday.
If you're looking for bits when you're putting articles together on Carson Wentz and you think about, okay, well, up and down career, but McVay chose him and employed him. Up and down career, but Andy Reid chose him and employed him. Does that speak anything in terms of now that he's getting this opportunity here in Minnesota, whether it's the human or really somewhere digging into it, the base level, the talent is there, the confidence that these coaches have had to put him in backup spots?
Yeah, and from what I know, had Carson wanted to go back to Kansas City and be the backup, that opportunity could have still been there for him. He decided to kind of play it out and see what opportunity fit best, and that landed him here right before the season. But to your question, absolutely, it says something. It says that two of the best coaches really to ever have done it have a level of trust that if they are that if he would have been thrust into the fire, and he was at times, that they could believe in what he'd be capable of. So,
and Reid did it twice.
Yeah, so there's obviously Carson. You talk to anybody around him, like cerebral as heck, and to learn this system and apply it in less than a month, you have to be.
Yeah.
And then athletic, and the arm strength is unquestionable. Just for me, as I go back and watch the film of his time in Kansas City and LA, when he gets in the game, there are some misses where you're just like, those are layups you got to complete. So can he weed out some of those? Again, it's one of those things that I think we're all looking forward to watching.
Reid did it once. Doug Peterson drafted him in 2016 with the Eagles, covenant cleanup. The doctor's doc. This is where Alec Lewis surgically dissects a Minnesota Vikings matchup. And the stuff you wrote about Jake Browning and what you've seen from Jake Browning, that's the adversarial quarterback this weekend, undrafted into the league, came in with the Minnesota Vikings, been with Cincinnati ever since. What'd you put down, and what do you think of Jake Browning?
Yeah, Jake Browning, we kind of hinted at it, but he has confidence in his arm at a level that, I mean, you kind of wonder for a backup like that, like how would you maintain that level of confidence? But it really makes these games that he plays so hard to kind of prognosticate, because if he's hurling the ball downfield and Jamar Chase and T. Higgins are coming down with those throws, then it makes it really tough on the defense. I will say this, to kind of segue from Jake Browning to their offense as a whole, their O-line is built to pass protect ahead of Joe Burrow, and the O-line is not. I mean, they've got a starting left guard who's a rookie in Dylan Fairchild. The right guard we know is Dalton Reisner. We know him well.
The tackles are massive. The
tackles are huge, but they're not. I mean, like, you can imagine the speed of Jonathan Grenard and Dallas Turner being able to give them some problems.
Or the gang.
And so, the offense as a whole, for me, it's going to be about, can Isaiah Rodgers and Byron Murphy Jr. running down the field with these elite receivers, can they make those contested catches difficult? And then if there are bubble screens to a Jamar Chase, can they tackle in the backfield? That is a key aspect of it for me.
So working for The Athletic, you've earned respect as a journalist in the way that you cover the team, but I can also tell there's a small part of you that's 9 to noon, because you wrote in your notes, specifically with defensive stunts.
Yeah.
Defensive stunts. We saw Donovan Jackson sadly get beat by one by James Pierce in the Sunday night game against the Falcons. Stunts kill Dalton Reisner, and then just We know this.
Yeah, I mean, the Vikings were stunted on. There were more stunts and twists in games run against the Vikings offensive line last year than any other team in the NFL. Why? Because it takes a level of intelligence for the offensive lineman to, on the fly, see the looping player, and the Vikings offensive line of the last 3 years have not had the ability to hold up against that. Dalton Wright, and the other aspect I'd say, Brian Flores is willing to dial those up. And I would expect them to try to do that against the Bengals offense.
And I'd like you to explain this. Well, first, give me your best 30 seconds on this, because the way you describe Jake Browning, and I've heard people call him a gunslinger, that he's just out there wild, wild west, saloon passages are opening, and he comes in firing. In your story that involved Wentz, and I wasn't aware of this because I didn't hear Wes Phillips' offensive coordinator's press conference, but he called Carson Wentz a gunslinger.
He did.
I didn't know he had that to him.
Yeah, there's a little bit of like, man, he'll air it out, like arm strength, hurl it down the field. But there are times where you're like, we got to use the gunslinger analogy, we got to make sure we're aiming in the right spot.
Yeah.
We got to make sure we're being accurate when we're gunslinging, I guess you would say.
Right.
So, yeah, Carson definitely is I would not be shocked if there are some throws Sunday where you're like, how did he miss that? But then I also think there might be some throws Sunday where you're like, holy cow, how did he see that guy and place that ball there? I just kind of think that's the experience we are in for.
Now, lastly, when you were analyzing the 2023 Vikings-Bengals game, Bengals have beaten the Vikings 2 consecutive, both Evan McPherson walk-off winners, kicker from Florida. But in the doctor's doc, as you surgically analyze this, like, was there a point of the 2023 game that led you to write, I can't take any more of this, honestly?
I did. At the very end, I was like, I can't do any more of this. Because you flip on the film of the 2023 game, and the players you see out there defensively, Sheldon Day, I don't even know if he's still in the league.
Jonathan Bullard had a sack.
Patrick Jones. The pass rush at one point was Bullard, Phillips.
I think Wanham would have still been
DJ Wanham, Troy Dye. I'm like, I don't even know really what I'm looking at.
Oh, Troy Dye starting for the Chargers now, I think?
He started that game. But I would end it with this. The Bengals defense does not impress me. This feels like an opportunity for the offense to find their footing. You hope that happens.
Good job, boys. Hey, Buffalo Wild Wings Maplewood, on behalf of Nick Madden Street Team, Sam Bird, ladies and gentlemen. The Bird was the word today. Also, Devin Ward, guiding the great ship Blessed Covenant. And for Alec Lewis and Eric Nordquist, I'm Paul Allen. Everybody have a great weekend. God bless all of you, and thanks for coming out. Thank you for listening to KFAN. When you do, bye-bye.
Today's Paul Allen Show, or listen back to previous show and interviews by going to the iHeartRadio app or KFAN.com.
This is Julian Edelman from Games with Names. Applebee's just cooked up the ultimate option play with their new Ultimate Trio deal. You can choose from 3 of their delicious appetizers and pair them up with 3 sauces for just $14.99. Craft your perfect trio from over 80,000 different combinations in this flavor-packed plate built for one, or to share if you're generous. You could stick with the classic pairings like boneless wings and buffalo sauce, or you could spice things up and try some unexpected combinations like dipping chicken wonton tacos in their honey Dijon mustard. It's time to head to your neighborhood Applebee's or order online today. That's eating good in the neighborhood.
This episode is supported by FX's The Lowdown, starring Ethan Hawke. Allow us to introduce you to Lee Raybon, a quirky journalist / rare bookstore owner / unofficial truth seeker who is always on the tail of his latest conspiracy. This time, his most recent expose puts him head-to-head with a powerful family that rules Tulsa, meaning only one thing: he must be on to something big. FX's The Lowdown premieres September 23rd on FX. Stream on Hulu.
Hey, it's Brian Christopher. Ready to chill this summer? You're in luck. I'm hanging out at Chumba Casino. And you're in for a treat. chillax with hundreds of games, daily bonuses, exciting spins, and epic prizes. It's all here, always free to play. Kick back, have fun, and head to ChumbaCasino.com. Let's make this summer legendary.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See T&Cs. 21+.
Every day has a to-do list, but adding Enjoy Belvita to yours can help you knock out the rest of it. Belvita breakfast biscuits are a tasty and convenient breakfast option when paired with low-fat yogurt and fruit that provides steady energy all morning. While Belvita Energy Snack Bites give you the perfect mid-morning refuel. Best part, they both taste great. So make the most out of your morning with a bite of Belvita. Pick up a pack of Belvita at your local store today.